Morning, morning, morning. Welcome to the full moon in Aquarius transmission. We are 24 hours out from the rough time of 8:01 a.m. EDT on Sunday morning, August 22nd. It's been a beautiful moon and for me. And I want to say thank you for coming. Thank you for being here and all of those things. I also want to really honor the word devotion to ourselves and to the collective. And that's, for me, what's coming through for this moon. I was reminded of this incredible book that a friend gave me, and I treasure it dearly. And if I may, with Patty's permission, to also just read a little bit from the beginning. So maybe we can all close our eyes together and enjoy this energy as a fresh start. Inspiration is the unforeseen quantity, the muse that assails at the hidden hour. The arrows fly and one is unaware of being struck, and that a host of unrelated catalysts have joined clandestinely to form a system of its own, rendering one with the vibrations of an incurable disease, a burning imagination, at once unholy and divine. And I feel, for me, this sums up the maybe the journey of awakening or going through awakenings, as we all are, or the journey of ascension, maybe getting woke, however the kids say it. The process of getting woke is that that beautiful balance of leaning into who you are in all the ways that you were formed and brought to life. Like, you know, if you really slow down, you know, any scene in front of your eyes now, whether it's you at a store or in a subway place, restaurant, or under the ground, something in a public setting. And if we look around, the individualism is astonishing and so beautiful. And so to be human and to lean into that individualism and also remain cognizant and connected to the collective is, you know, it's a, you know, a good thing, it's a great thing, it's an awesome thing, it's maybe a state of devotion in my interpretation of some of Patty's work or the words, or my own extrapolation of what does devotion mean. I wrote a little piece last year, and I'll put it up with this. But I think that devotion to ourselves and the collective is a beautiful place to be. And as we look at this moon cycle, this is truly a once in a blue moon, this one, according to the books. Because we've had two full moons, two Aquarius full moons in 1 month, with a Leo moon in the middle. So listening to the Leo King this week, he talked very much about that being all regal energy. And also this incredible lunation period that, you know, the moon has just reflected onto the sun. They've just been like, going to sound terrible, but they've been entertaining each other, let's say. Maybe I've got the wrong end of the stick, but I think there's a beauty in that because it's, you know, just pure queen and king energy. And something he also said was they want to be, let me find it. It was really beautifully said, a couple of lines. And I think that, stay with me, folks. It's beautiful. And it's funny that I can't remember this, but I think this is the cognitive learning of my own in this moment. But like, there's no control in Leo and Aquarius. And if there is, then there's, you know, maybe you could say they're unbalanced, which is interesting because we have a lot of Libra energy right now. So I've used the word balanced a couple of times, and really feeling like if you were channeling any energies in this transit, it would be, you know, Leo, Aquarius, and Libra. So looking at where they are in your chart. We also have a lot of Jupiter energy at the moment. There's a big, Jupiter's kind of the planet of gifts, maybe. It really shines a light on and something and brings something into the mix. And he also said it's about freedom and rebellion. And to me, that is, you know, the quintessential of devotion to myself and to the collective, of like the freedom to do what I want, devote to anything and everything, however I want my mornings to be, my days to be, my art to be, my food to be, however I devote to myself in every shape and form, which is really truly what we're here to do. You know, not only is there only one of each of us, maybe you're a twin or a triplet or a quadruplet or an eight-tuplet or something, but at the end of the day, technically, you know, your DNA, your everything is, there's something that makes you extremely unique. There's only one of you. That's just such an incredible gift. So to find space in your life through your heart, to step into that individuality and really lean in. Use all those words, the synergies, the things coming from the gurus. Lean in and really find your delicious, unique, sweet spot. Like for no one other than yourself. That's devotion for me. So devote to yourself. And I think by default, maybe there's a caveat on that, but by default, leaning into your heart in the truest sense, in your weirdness, in your uniqueness, coming through yourself, through your own actions, through your own words. Think about the 4 agreements. I mean, most of you who know me and those that don't, my name is Toni, and I like to, you know, spirituality is free. And it's like if you wanted to be a Arnold Schwarzenegger workout dude, you could probably do a lot of all of that working out with your own body weight and get that big. Maybe not that big, but big, swole, naturally through your own body weight. Like it's really a devotion thing, a commitment thing. If you wanted to do it, you could do it. And spirituality, if you wanted to, you know, it's the same, you know, drugs and things, everything is a choice. Like we're all in there, you know, and I think we, you know, advocate the ownership or the sort of control or the, maybe even the awareness. I mean, obviously, but many words that we advocate, or I don't even know if advocate's the right word. I don't want to say give up. We give away. We temporarily are, you know, holding the keys. Something, I don't know. Pardon me. Burps. We give up our agency. Maybe that word covers it. I love that word. To others, to other things, to other places, to other people, to other situations, to other circumstances. Someone else takes control. We give control. And as we like negotiate ourselves through life, it's always this balance of who we're giving up. The, you know, dancing in control with relationships. I mean, that's a huge give and take of energy and exchange and showing up. And then, you know, when you're sitting in front of, maybe let's take a breath into that together. Thank you for being here. Thank you for walking this path with me. So those that are regulars in some shape or form or know of my story and my work, thank you. And those that may not, thank you for being here, for spending your time, your energy with me, to tune into the universe, to realign ourselves. I guess where I was going at some point was everything I'm doing is to connect into source, into the grid, in a, you know, the universe grid, into a larger way so that I can be more of service. I think spending time with yourself, in devotion with yourself, brings a deep sense of knowing about yourself. And I believe when you walk from that space, you walk and talk from that space, there's an incredible amount of kind of power that you can tap into. And I mean, this is Toni speaking, but this is not new. This is not like I discovered this concept. I'm one of many that have learned how to tap into the universe. And I think you have too, since you're here, most likely. Da-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na. So devotion to yourself is what I'm feeling. And it's interesting because I did record the first full moon, but I didn't share it. And I think it's the message of, if I recall correctly, was really that I felt like I wanted to be in my own energy and not share it. So it's kind of special that I've been through this lunation and now in a place where I can share both. And wherever you land and whatever you listen to will be perfect. So I'll share that too. Yeah, following your heart. I was mixing in many things. The 4 agreements I started on at some point. Anyone that isn't aware of the 4 agreements, I think this is where I went into the tangent of spirituality being free. There are many things out there. You need a computer and internet, you know, to some degree. It's not free, but, you know, most people are connected to some degree or go to the library. There's a lot of beautiful books in the library. I know that's changing. And access to spaces where you can find information is different in our transitioning world right now. So please ask an elder if you need some help. Actually, not help. If you need some information you can't, you know, about spirituality that you can't find, you don't have access to a computer or a library or something, is where I'm going. So spirituality is free, and one of the beautiful things that are out there, that this lovely family, the Ruiz family, I believe, R-U-I-Z, I might have mixed that up, gave us are the 4 agreements. And for anyone that doesn't know the 4 agreements, they are be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions, and do your best. So when you get to number 4, do your best, it's kind of like, holy moly, well, if I made it through the other 3, then you know you've come a long way. So the 4 agreements is an amazing place to start if you were looking at a place of, how could I be more in devotion to myself? That could be an interesting way to look at the decisions you make and the things that you do as you become more selfless or devoted to self. You know, looking at how we spend our time and energy, money, our resources is an interesting thing. And maybe again that Aquarius energy is looking at resources. You know, the king and queen are always looking at the resources of the kingdom to make sure they might be making alliances. You know, I'm kind of really extrapolating now, but that's kind of what I feel is coming through for me. And I think it's beautiful. I think it's you know, again, the Leo King always makes me laugh. He's like, it's a gateway, it's a portal. Everything's a gateway, and this portal always feels like the last ones. But a lot of these are very much the time that, you know, I don't know, also too, if it's like the king and queen don't lie to themselves or something, maybe. There's something also about an extreme amount of truth here that is, I think, very important to, maybe it comes with integrity and honor and courage. You know, they kind of come as a team. And I think that to be regal, to be in your regal energy, is to be honest and courageous and brave. And that comes with a, you know, radical commitment to the truth and to sort of the basis of spirituality. Maybe the 4 agreements you live by, maybe it's just be kind to others or treat others how you would like to be treated, or whatever your sort of go-to. You know, I'm a big fan of the Serenity Prayer. Whatever your sort of mantra is, you know, really be in that and be truthful in that. And it doesn't have to be big or grand. It can be really simple. And I think that that presence within that sphere of truth will exponentially expand you to go regal great places and be in your regal great energy. And I wish that for all of you, whatever that means to you. And really tune into the light that comes from your heart, as the Leo King says. I think he's an incredible human, and it's great to learn from others. I think my journey in spirituality has been very rich and very textured, and, you know, even the ways I got into it, you know, have a story of its own. So I think that let's take a breath into that. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for following your heart and for coming here. And thank you for being a light worker and showing up. And I'm excited to share more projects, share more of my ideas, share more of my writing and my work, all the things that I love. And I appreciate your time. And I acknowledge that everyone has choices in every part of their life, and to choose to spend time with me and make it to this point is a real gift. And I thank you. Wherever you are in the world, thank you so much. And know that you are loved. Awkward laughs. I have a lot of those. Anyway, I love you all. So thank you much. So thank you. very much. And enjoy this next month as a chance to really wield that regal energy within your world and see what shows up for you. And I would love to hear about it, so hit me up. Ciao. Welcome, 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 welcome to the full moon in Aquarius video. It's a few days later than the full moon, and I'm in Rosarito, which is in Mexico, over the border of Tijuana, San Diego area. And it's pretty beautiful, very rustic, very Pacific. And I wanted to talk about the full moon and my experience and what's coming through for me around the journey around the individual and the collective. And as we're all making our own moves, there's also this sort of energy around how we're feeding into the collective energy and the collective change and expression and movement, let's say. And I found myself observing sort of this this in-between world where I was I could see it, you know, like there was many things happening and I was kind of in between the layers, and as I was in between the layers I could observe the collective and everything that was happening, but I was still kind of, you know, having to noodle through my own individual experience. And I think as we, you know, rotate in the world, within our families, our businesses, our, you know, jobs and things like that, as well as our sort of friends and outside influences, this balancing of energies between those two worlds feels really interesting to me right now. I feel we're all making progress and, you know, forward motion. Some of the planets are coming out of retrograde, so there is this forward energy, but there's also this, you know, this bigger story that we're a part of. And how do we exist in both and honor both and be present in both and continue to tune to what we need and what we desire within our own world, but then also looking at what we, you know, we know that we need to engage with or be connected to in the collective world. How are you doing out there? How are you shedding these skins and showing up in your own journey? What's coming through for you?
getting the word truth. How powerful the truth can be to move us forward in that journey. And the resonance with truth in the collective, and how we're absorbed and how we're integrated into the collective through the truth of the stories that we tell and the things that we share. Let's take a couple of deep breaths together. As we continue to follow the signs towards our truth, being able to communicate that, being able to express that, it's sort of tuning also into the uniqueness of each person. Aquarius can sometimes be known as sort of that weird, eccentric energy. And I think there's a lot of value in tuning into that, of your own. What's unique about you? What's weird about you? What's different? What lights you up differently to everybody else? What is part of your story that's different to everybody else? How can you engage in that further to tune yourself to your highest, to your best self? Our goal is to become aligned with ourselves so that we can receive, and leading in sometimes to the uniqueness of ourselves. Can catapult us on that journey to return to ourselves, to remember who we are, what we're here to do, and be fully engaged in that journey and that discovery. There's a braveness, courageousness that comes with leaning into our strange, weird, unique elements. Knowing that, trusting that as we do that, we're signaling to the universe in a way that we believe in ourselves, that we trust ourselves, and that that agency, that power that comes from that can deepen that experience, deepen that power, deepen that possibility for us to take advantage of. Let me find a different word than take advantage. For us to tap into. Really, everything we're doing as humans is so we can tap into more of ourselves and more of this infinite source from universe, God, Jah, however you reference your higher power. So I'm inviting you to spend a minute to look at your uniqueness, your weirdness, and to lean in, to let it deepen, to let it grow, to let it be shared. So that you can live in your fullest expression and share yourself with the world in its fullest, in your fullest makeup. And that sort of expression then connects in, tunes into or attaches, integrates into the collective energy, which then, can impact how we raise each other up from a frequency perspective. And the concept of being human and raising our consciousness and raising those around us, is very multifaceted and fascinating and enjoyable and fun and wild. And so every invitation to learn about ourselves so that we can raise our own consciousness and take others with us is not only a gift, but also I don't want to say a great responsibility, but there's a beauty of being human. So let's take a minute together to close our eyes. And honor the uniqueness of who you are. The deepening of that understanding and that expression in order to raise our own consciousness as well as those around us, which in turn raises the consciousness of the planet, which is a beautiful thing. Feeling that sink deep down inside of you. Letting the sound of the ocean wash over your heart and your soul and your mind, bathing it in salt water, offering you a fresh start. Curious about how our own journeys within the collective is exciting to see how we show up and how it affects others. So I invite you all to deepen that practice. close today with a little prayer. Reminding us of the beauty of the water bearer, the Aquarius energy, bridging air and water, ideas and emotions. Remembering who we are, why we're here on this earth. And may this remembering come to you peacefully and beautifully, so that you can tune yourself to the vibration of the universe, raising your own consciousness and doing that for others as well, by default of your beauty, your uniqueness, your weirdness, your agency in expressing yourself, showing up as we take steps along and through and with that journey. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining me other days. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll see you soon. Love you.